For the last 16 years, 2 men have been in prison for exactly the same crime. 42-year-old Christian Pacheco spent 25 years behind bars after he was convicted of cutting a man's throat in a New York bar. Now, another man confessed a decade and a half ago, but Pacheco was only released last week. Our lead national correspondent, David Begnaud, spoke to Pacheco, who is now suing the state of New York for over $100 million. When you look at the numbers, that's over half of his life, David. Yeah. Why did it take so long?
Well, prosecutors didn't have the new information until after he was convicted and then sent to prison based on the testimony of one man who was later found to be unreliable. So what caused prosecutors to finally take a second look at the case? The person who cut the victim's throat confessed. Pacheco was a member of the Latin Kings gang at the time of the murder in Brooklyn. He was at the scene of the crime, but always insisted he did not do what he was accused of doing. Federal prosecutors in New York City knew as far back as 1998 that someone had come forward to say Christian Pacheco was innocent of the crime that sent him to prison. Melvin Garcia ended up being convicted in 2004 of the same crime, cutting the throat of Lemuel Cruz. When you found out that someone had said, "I'm the guy, I did it," and pleaded guilty, what did you think?
I believed in my heart I was going to come home soon. It was just a matter of days, probably months, and that never happened.
Pacheco was convicted in 1996 on the testimony of one person, the bar's bouncer, a former gang member. According to the prosecutor's office, 2 years later, other gang members came forward to give their account of the deadly night, and they named Garcia as the murderer. And what year was that you were in prison that you found out he pleaded guilty?
I believe I knew about him in somewhere in 1999. I knew that they have gotten arrested for some charges in the feds, and somehow my case had to do with those charges.
But then you serve almost 20 more years.
Right.
Melvin Garcia was eventually arrested during a federal investigation into the Latin Kings gang. In 2005, Garcia told federal prosecutors, quote, Christian Pacheco did not participate in the murder, but it was still another 15 years before Pacheco would be freed.
You know, and that's a flaw of the system.
Criminal defense attorney Ken Belkin says wrongful convictions are very difficult to overturn.
If you're the DA, do you really want to go questioning the people that you rely on to prosecute cases? They sort of have this wall of silence where they say, hey, we're all on the same team. Whatever happened, happened.
Pacheco's conviction was vacated and his indictment was dismissed last week. He walked out of prison a free man for the first time in nearly 25 years. Does the freedom feel foreign to you?
No. I'm not going to say it feels foreign, because I always believed that I was going to get it back. I feel peace because I was able to prove my innocence.
Twice, Pacheco was offered a plea deal, and he said, no, I won't take it because I didn't do it. The Brooklyn DA has made it clear that he does believe Pacheco is not completely innocent. They say Mr. Pacheco did stab the victim, but they admit it was Melvin Garcia who dealt a fatal blow.
25 years in prison, and knowing that somebody else had confessed to it.
Yeah.
It's a little murky when you hear the part about stabbing the victim, but still,
But even if
somebody confessed to say that he didn't do that,
Right.
didn't kill the man.
And they had that evidence at the time, right?
Yeah.
It was
That's
interesting
not
yesterday
right.
when I met him, he was sitting in an office behind some glass, and he was just sitting there like this with his food on his lap, and he wasn't moving.
Yeah.
And it occurred to me, it still feels like a cell, and he later said, this office is bigger than my jail cell.
Amazing.
Yes.
So he's getting used to like, hey, I can walk around when I want. I don't have to stay in this office.
I can move.
Right,
It's interesting, he was offered a plea deal and didn't take it. He
Didn't.
got out.
Twice. He
That
said,
says
I'm not
something
doing it.
about him, too.
Right.
Interesting.
All right. Glad he's out.
All right, David, thank you very much.